What's up, guys? So, if you guys didn't already know, for 2017 and 2018, I did the top 10 best and worst movies of the year. And I know I haven't really posted much this year, but I want to fulfill on the end year movie list for, if you say. So, right now, this video is the worst of 2019. 2019 wasn't per se a bad year, in fact, very good. The best of list will be held off because I want to see like all the good movies, like Lighthouse, Parasite. I want to see those before I get that out. But I feel like I have a good list of stinkers for you guys today. So, that should be good. If you can't tell, I have a cold. So, this video might be a little hard to listen to, but enough setup, enough build up. Here's the top 10 worst movies of 2019. Coming in at number 10 is a Netflix movie called Fractured. Now, I hear some of you say, you can't put a Netflix movie on the list. What the heck? It's not even in theaters. Well, two of the best movies of, like, the decade are on Netflix. Marriage Story, Irishman. Okay, they're very good. And if they can be on best list, then I could put Netflix's stinkers on this one. There are only two Netflix movies, so bear with me on this one. Fractured is an incredibly dull, boring movie about a guy, his daughter dies, his wife dies. So here's the setup, right? He's driving with his wife and daughter. They fall down like in a construction mine. He brings them to the hospital, and then he walks back in, and he's like, "Your wife and daughter never came in. There's no record of their existence." And he's like, "Oh my god, I have to figure out what's happening." And then like you can tell, okay, he's imagining clearly some of it, and he's insane. Maybe they've been dead like for a very long time. And it's just so boring. It's like the cops don't believe him. He's like, I'll find out the truth. He traps the cops inside of a crate, and he's like, I will find out the truth. And then at the end of the movie, like he finds his wife and daughter in the hospital. I'm like, oh, this is kind of dumb, but not predictable. And then it fades, and he has two dead bodies in his trunk, and he imagined those were his wife and kids. I'm like, oh my god. I knew that was gonna happen. Like, it's so clearly obvious. He's hallucinating just a little bit. It's so obvious and boring. This movie's just pretty pointless, and Netflix does not make very good original movies. Just in general, they're just so bad. Next up is another Netflix original, which had me disappointed, is Between Two Ferns. I was so hyped for this, and then when I saw the movie, I just couldn't express my disappointment. The only good parts of the movie, surprise, surprise, is when he's interviewing actors, and they're funny as always. And the end credit scene, like, genuinely was the funniest thing I've seen all year. But every other scene with him and his employees are just so boring and cliche. He's like, we're weird, but we're our own voice, Yeah, woo-hoo, go for the weirdos. I'm like, oh my god, dude, shut up. It's a comedy that's not really funny. Like, if all the Between Two Ferns interviewed were released on YouTube or something, just watch those instead of watching the movie on Netflix. Just a disappointment and an unfunny movie. Next is Captain Marvel. Talk about a snore fest. This is the one Marvel movie that I almost fell asleep in. People are like, oh, Ant-Man 2 is worse. Ant-Man 2 is not worse than this. I'm sorry. That movie was actually kind of entertaining, and I kind of liked it. Shut up. Oh, speaking of Captain Marvel, what a forgettable, boring movie this was. The first 20 minutes where she's in with the Space Federation with Jude Law, that was like the most boring thing ever. I was just sitting there and he's like, we have to get from the scroll, we have to protect them. And Captain Marvel was like, hey. And Jude Law's like, oh, love, don't let your emotions override you. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's kind of interesting. Dozing off. Once she crashes into the blockbuster, it gets kind of interesting, but This is definitely the worst Marvel movie. Well, of no, it's higher than those Hulk and Thor 2. Those are not. Those are awful, but it's just kind of forgettable Marvel movie and wasn't very entertaining. Next up is Pet Sematary. The trailer made this look like it would be a unique horror movie with actual scares, but it was just flatly shot, boring remake with very forgettable characters like the dad, who cares? The mom, who cares? Oh, the daughter got hit by a truck. Oh wow, that's so cool. It's so scary. No, it really wasn't. The first Pet Cemetery wasn't even that good. I don't understand why they remade it. I guess to make it better, but that it failed at making it better. So I don't understand the point. I'm just don't watch Pet Cemetery. Don't even watch the. Just read the book. I guess. If I'm telling you to read a book over the movie, then you know the movie's just awful. Next up, Dark Phoenix. I'm more bewildered that this movie exists than anything, but on a pure storytelling level, it's just ungodly awful. Like, cliched lines like, the inner of your body, you know? I forgot the line, it was just like, do what you did inside or something like that. Some boring derivative line, like, use your insides, you know, to be good and defeat the evil or something like that. It was just awful. Um, Michael Fassbender's good. James McAvoy's good. I kind of like the X-Men series. Logan was good, and the first three I think were good. Even Last Stand I kind of liked, but it's just been kind of dropping off. X-Men Apocalypse and X-Men Origins, of course, is the big one. And this is just another entry, and the whole series is ending. This is the finale. That's what makes this up above the other movies, that this ended a comic book universe, and it just ended it on this note. It was just like, you got Endgame this year, that ended things well, and then we got Dark Phoenix. It just bleh. Next up, okay, we're starting to get from boring to the bad movies. Detective Pikachu. Oh my god, this movie sucked. People thought Pikachu was cute. What the fuck? He's kind of cute. Ryan Reynolds, he's just saying the same things that he says in the other movies. He's like, I talk fast, I'm kind of sarcastic, and I talk in a high-pitched voice. It's so funny, guys. It's funny in Deadpool we can actually make clever jokes, but he just makes kid jokes in this movie, and it's just not that funny. The Indian kid or whatever, with the afro, not good performance. And his girl, the blonde, she may be the worst actress ever. She's so bad. Oh my god, I was so shocked. Like, what was that? That performance was awful. And the Pokemon that weren't Pikachu just looked scary. Horrible character design, just horrible. I couldn't even look at most of the movie because it looked so bad. Uh, the villain was alright, I guess. The guy in the wheelchair, he's a good actor. I like his movies, especially Rattlesnake Jake. I have a whole Instagram about the character Rattlesnake Jake, so I guess that gives him movie points. It was just an awful, horrible looking movie with a story that's been told a million times. The buddy cop movie, oh, they found something about the other cop, so then they split up, but then they come back together and they beat the bad guy. Wow! Next up is Ma. Fuck's sake. Octavia Spencer is a great actress, don't get me wrong. But her work in Ma, honestly, well, she wasn't that bad. She's actually the best part. It's just the teenagers. The teenagers' performances in Ma is just so bad. I feel like I'm reiterating. In horror movies, the teens are not always the best actors, but here they're really bad. It's like, oh, the teenage girl likes one of the boys. Oh, but then he goes to Ma and doesn't pay attention to her. And then the girl finds out that Ma is like kind of sinister, and she's telling everyone, guys, Ma's evil. And they're like, psst, whatever, man, screw you. And they go to Ma, they get trapped and die. This movie was kind of like a thriller for most of it, not even a horror movie like it was advertised. It was just kind of just escalating, like kind of like an action movie. It's like, sure, it's tense, but you're not scared. And like the last 10 minutes, like, oh, we have to make this horror movie. So that Ma kidnaps the kids and puts them in a basement, and the house blows up, and it's right. It was a horrible thriller with a a horror ending, kind of. It's like if Taken suddenly turned into Friday the 13th. Like the guy who took Liam Neeson's daughter just started killing everyone. It became scary. It's just a weird tonal shift. It was super jarring. The movie sucks either way. Number 3. Okay, this just pissed me off. Hellboy, the remake. I loved the first two Hellboys. Like those were so good. Good puppetry, good characters, funny characters. I love them. I wanted a third Hellboy so bad. But no. No, we get this. It's it's R-rated. That's the only praise. It's bloody. Like some scenes are kind of funny to watch cuz the blood is so absurd, but it's just everything. They just threw away Hellboy, one of the greatest superhero franchises probably of late. I I liked some of those Hellboy movies better than the MCU movies probably. Like they just threw it all away to make this worthless movie. Horrible humor, horrible acting, horrible characters, horrible special effects. It's just awful. Number 2, another Netflix movie, The Silence. Wow. How you rip off of a movie that was based on a book? That's just weird. This is a rip off of Bird Box. That's like a rip off of The Quiet Place. And The Quiet Place is a rip off of the Bird Box book or something like that. It's just a whole tread. And this plot of like, oh, the monsters can sense your footstep sounds or something like that. That premise has been done to death. Even before A Quiet Place, it's been a staple. Like, don't make the noise or the creature will come. That's like basic common knowledge. You don't need to make a whole movie about it. Where these horrible looking CG bats just gnaw at you whenever you make a noise. The CGI is awful. They show you the bats. If you're gonna make a horror movie, don't show the monster like up close in the sunlight in the first 10 minutes. That's like so basic 101 of a horror movie, and this movie did that wrong. Yup. Oh, you can open it.